Shop to 7 Family and Friends Part 2. When I got home, the maids greeted me, as Nana was helping Monica set the table in the dining room. When I caught wind of the food, I sighed in relief and rubbed my temples. "Hon, what's wrong?" my wife asked worryingly. "I think I have a migraine coming on." "Oh no, here, try sipping some soup." I watched Monica serving the bowl. I sat at the center while she sat on my right. "The soup is just how I remembered it. It's delicious. Make sure to sip lots." My wife has always been like this, even in our past lives. When I was in a car accident, she took care of me endlessly, both in and out of the hospital. When we got home, she only left my side to cook and bring me food. She took care of me day in and day out. After we got divorced and I started dating Nicole, I caught a bad cold and had a really high fever. I kept on hallucinating that it was Monica that was taking care of me. When my fever finally went down, I realized that it was Nana who took care of me. She said that they were lucky that Nicole never visited even though I was sick for a week, because I kept repeating Monica's name. Back to present day, Monica made me drink ginger tea before going to sleep. It was just chopped ginger soak in hot water and some sugar in a teapot. A simple recipe, but it always works whenever I have migraines or flu-like symptoms. I hugged her tightly as I drifted to sleep. In the morning I felt refreshed. I then heard a knock on the door. "Are you awake?" Monica asked as she looked to see if I was up. She carried a breakfast tray with some chicken soup, garlic bread and a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. She sat beside me and said, "I found this nutritious chicken soup recipe online. It has garlic lemongrass. This vegetable that I can't pronounce, and a so-called superfood. I can't remember its name, but it is said to have a lot of medicinal properties. The garlic bread is for carbs, and the orange juice is for vitamin C." I smiled and chuckled at her classic sick menu. I thought about telling her that I was feeling better, but I really like it when she pampers me like this. "Hon, you're not feeling up to it. Just stay in bed." "No, Hon, I feel a lot better." She pouted. "If you say so." I finished my plate and got off the bed. When I got to work, I found Monica's father waiting for me. My blood boiled as I remember this scum of a man sold off my wife and child. I walked past him and paraded towards the elevator. A while later I was sitting in my office signing papers, when my secretary notified me of his still being there and wanting to talk to me. "Sir Adrian, a man is here. He says he is your wife's father. Call security. He is a scammer," I said as I barely lifted my head off the paper. As I looked at the documents, I remembered them from the past. I also remembered some trouble that Nicole's family was in. If I remember correctly, it's around this time that their business started to face some difficulty. It was due to their lack of foresight in market trends, since the family business was still run by the old-timers in the company during this time in the past. Nicole kept pestering me to help, knowing that Nicole will betray me sooner or later in the future. All I have to do is to sit back and watch while doing nothing. I was looking forward to what kind of lunch Monica was going to bring after signing so much paperwork. However, my secretary suddenly barged in, saying that a man was harassing my wife downstairs. I bolted to the elevator. When I got there, the hot soup that Monica was supposed to give to me was spilled all over her, making her skin turn red. I run to the bastard and punch him. "Adrian," Monica yelled worryingly. I managed to beat him up. Before the security came, I run to protect Monica before yelling at the security. "Didn't I say not to let him in? Call the police." When I noticed the bystanders, I yelled again, "What are you staring at?" "Adrian," Monica said lowly. I then noticed her burns from the hot soup. I lifted her up and quickly rushed her to the hospital. "Don't worry, Mr. Adams. Your wife's burns aren't as bad as they look. Just apply this ointment until the redness fades," the doctor said as she handed me a prescription. We went straight home after the hospital, so Monica could rest. I told her to rest and to not worry about dinner. I then told her that I left my phone in the office and had to go and get it. "Okay, Adrian, that man was. I know, you rest now, okay?" I kissed her forehead before leaving. I made sure that she was asleep before closing the door behind me. I got my phone and went to the police department where Monica's father was. "Is this how you treat your father-in-law?" he said, smiling when he saw me. I snarled and handed him a restraining order with cold eyes. "You are not come anywhere near my wife, you hear?" "I'm here, father. You can't tell me that I can't see my daughter," he said as he leaned in. "Father, you haven't been a father to her since the day she entered foster care at the age of 14. You left her there, even though you and your new wife were well off. You even managed to send your son to a top university recently, while Monica had to go through several honors qualifying exams to get a scholarship. I know what you want. Your business isn't doing very well. I hear that your debts are piling up. Now you want to ask her for money. Because you heard that she is now married to me. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not getting a single penny from me, and if you use any other means to bother us, I will increase your misfortunes by tenfold, that you will never be able to stand up again. I stood up walking away, and he didn't say a word. As I opened the door, I said to him, "Consider it a mercy that I only gave you a restraining order. Sharp to 8 secret recording. I know it's wrong, but I put a listening device in my wife's office at home. I need to know what nonsense her friend is telling her. I was at work listening to their conversation, and your old man hasn't bothered you since that day." Honey said in surprise, "Yeah, you know the weird thing is, what, Adrian hasn't asked about my relationship with my dad?" "Oh no," Honey said as she realized something. "Oh no, what, he did a background check on your Monica?" "Adrian wouldn't do that," she said vehemently. "That's the only explanation why he hasn't asked you yet. He already knows." No, we are not having this conversation, honey. Things are going great between us right now, please, fine. So, what has been going on with Nicole? Is she still scheming to get into your husband's pants?" "Not since I called her a wannabe mistress," Honey laughed and said. "Yeah, I saw that, good job. But did Adrian tell you off afterwards?" "No, what, nothing? Not even a slap on the wrist? Nothing, all right. What kind of love potion are you giving him?" "Nothing. Are you having sex?" Honey asked. "Of course, are you pregnant?" Monica took a while to respond. "Now that you mention it, I hadn't had one in a while." My ears perked up as I smiled. "Finally, it hasn't even been 6 months since you were married," Honey yelled. "Hey, you didn't know how hungry he gets at night?" Monica said sarcastically. Honey said seriously, "You better make sure that he wants it. Because some men will start making excuses in order to avoid taking care of their wives. Then they will start complaining and saying that you're too needy, and before you know it, bang, he already had an affair." "Adrian would never do that," Monica yelled. "Sorry to tell you this, sister, but your situation is worse than normal. Because of a temptation angel named Nicole." I then heard a slam, which was probably her laptop. Then I heard crying. I turned off the recording and rubbed my temples, looked up at the ceiling and screamed, "Fuck you, honey. I really want to slap that bitch face." I had half a mind to tell Monica that she should cut her friendship with that bitch, but if she asked why, I would have to tell her that I've been listening to their conversations. That night I had to let Monica know that I want a baby. "Hey, Adrian," she said as I kissed her belly. I stared at her and asked, "When are you going to give me a baby?" "What?" she asked frantically as I kissed her cheek. "Don't worry, Monica. Tonight I plan to fail you up until you're completely full." After days later we went to the hospital for a checkup. "Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Adams. You're pregnant." I hugged and kissed Monica's head. Click like, subscribe to be updated, or click the playlist here.